All right. Tablet, coffee, and I ain't got a sign today. I just didn't want to get out of bed. It's cozy. You know, you have those days you don't want to get out of bed. All right, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Tuesday, September 24th, 2019. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. So good. Good morning, Stacy. Well, I hope everybody out there is having a great day. Hope your Monday kicked some butt, and I hope Tuesday's on track for even more. Good morning, Frank. Happy birthday. It's Frank's birthday. For those of you that don't know, Frank is the one that writes in the vast majority of the great questions that I answer every morning. He's been a big support of this show and everything we've got going on at Whistlekick. So thank you, Frank. I hope you have an utterly amazing day. You deserve nothing less. Well, yesterday, if you've been watching this show for a while, you know that Mondays are not my best day. I don't tend to be terribly productive. The transition from from the weekend to coming back in, not always easy. Sometimes I struggle. But yesterday, I got a lot done. And that was despite having several meetings. I did email, I did some billable consulting work, had some meetings, went to the gym. It was great. It was a great day. Came back, made some dinner, watched some TV. You know, just checked all the boxes. It was a good day. Today, what's going on today? I know I've got at least one podcast interview. Do I have two? Let's see. Let's check. One, two. Yep. I have two podcast interviews. I have a meeting this evening. And stuffing a bunch of work in there in between. It was rainy here yesterday. Lots of rain. Coming out of the gym, I got drenched. And just kind of reflecting on the rain. And, you know, I enjoy the rain. I enjoy the sound of the rain, especially the rain on a metal roof. I don't like camping in the rain, but I like being out in the woods in the rain if I have somewhere I can go to get dry. As long as it's not cold, as long as I don't have to be out there wet too long. Right? There's a point where the rain goes from pleasant to annoying. And if I was to hike the Appalachian Trail or something, that would be one of my biggest fears, is that it would rain the whole time. And I would just be wet the whole time. And that would really stink. But when you have a place to go that's dry, there's something, at least for me, there's something very raw about the rain. I mean, if it wasn't for the rain, plants wouldn't grow. And I think on some level, most of us connect with that. Let's see if we got any questions. I bet we do. Where are we? Here we are. All right, here we go. Frank is reminding us that September is self-improvement month. How have you seen martial arts improve others? I've seen martial arts improve a lot of people. And I think I'm going to make a small adjustment. Others have improved through martial arts. Because remember, martial arts is only what you put into it. So it's not something you can just sit back and receive. You have to participate. You have to participate in your own rescue. You have to participate in your own progress and growth. I've seen people with physical benefits. I've seen them lose weight. I've seen them become faster and stronger. Honestly, those are the minority. What I've seen happen in a lot of people is they become more confident. They understand who they are. They develop resilience in body and mind that they're able to take outside their training into their normal lives and become better. Martial arts makes people better. The lives that they lead are improved because of their participation in martial arts. If you listen to martial arts radio, you hear those stories all the time. When people talk about who they were before they trained and who they became, and then the things that they accomplished, whether it's TV and movies, or running a school, or as run-of-the-mill as dealing with loss and grief, having a family. Martial arts is a toolkit for facing what life throws at you. Hey, Google. There's absolutely no need for the heat to turn on. It is way too warm. In fact, it's almost too warm for this robe. I almost needed the lighter robe. It's 55 outside and like mid 60s in here, but the heat wants it to be 70. Nope, not doing that right now. It's a toolkit. I've also seen a number of children improve through martial arts, younger children who lacked focus and discipline, and over the course of a few months, they can handle both. They become better at home, they become better at school. It takes a strong instructor to take them through that. But for a lot of people, martial arts is the counter to a lot of the negative things in their lives. Discipline, caring community, physical movement. There are a lot of people, a lot of children who sit all day long, who are medicated instead of permitted movement. There's nothing like martial arts. What is one thing you wish more people in general would do to improve themselves? My gut reaction is to be honest with their priorities. One of the things I hear people say, I don't have time for that. You do. You're choosing to spend your time on other things. We all have the same 24 hours. If somebody came to you and said, hey, I'm going to give you this job. It's 1 hour a day for the rest of your life. And it's going to pay you $1,000 a day. You'd make time. You might start off by not sleeping as much. But eventually you'd stop doing other things because that would become a priority. If you value the thing, you'll make the time. And that frustrates me because people come to me and they'll say, I would love to do martial arts, but I don't have time. No, you just don't value martial arts. And I'm at a point in my life now that I tell them that. You have time. You're just choosing not to. Well, no, I have family and kids, and so do a lot of people who train. It's about priorities. It's okay that it is not important enough for you. No one says it has to be. I'm not going to judge them for it. But when people act and tell themselves that there is some outside force preventing them from doing something, they're reinforcing to themselves that they are weak, they are powerless, that they don't have full control over their lives. But that's not true. When you're ready to accept the fact that you have control over your life, when the 24 hours you spend in your day is done at your own direction and no one else, a lot of really great things can happen. But the downside to that is when things don't go right, or you don't have what you want or do what you want versus need. When things don't go right, when in hindsight you've made a poor decision or something, you have to take responsibility for that. When you present to the world that you're not in control of your life, you can feel like a victim when things don't go well. That's not really how it is. When something doesn't go right in my life, whether or not I've caused it, it's still my responsibility. I still have to react to it. I have to adapt. I have to find a way forward. I have to pay the consequences. We all do. I would rather feel like I have a sense of control. I would rather recognize that I'm the one making these things happen or not happen, or connecting the dots or whatever it is. Because that gives me a sense of power. And it feels good. What is one thing you wish more martial artists would do to improve themselves? So a little more specific than the last question. The last question being people in general. This is martial artists. Of course, I would love for martial artists to do the things that I just talked about. But if we're talking about martial artists, we're probably talking about training and how they're using their training. I wish more martial artists would realize that training doesn't only happen when you travel to a thing. Training is all the time. There are different kinds of training. When I talk to these guests for Martial Arts Radio, if you look at it by hours, that's the majority of my training right now. Whistlekick is the majority of my training. This show, Martial Arts Radio, Who'd Win, all these projects that we've got going on, they require an understanding of martial arts. They require being in a martial arts mindset. Right now, that's where most of my progress is. It's not about my kicks and punches and forms. I'm still doing that. I'm just not doing as much of that as the other. You're a martial artist 24 hours a day, whether or not you're attending a formal class at that moment. You're a martial artist when you're asleep. You're a martial artist when you have morning coffee. You're a martial artist when you're at the grocery store. And how you choose to show up as that martial artist in that place at that time is entirely up to you. Do you stay aware of your surroundings? Do you notice exits? Are you paying attention to people's body language? Are you observing threats? Are you staying present? Do you know what's going on with your body in that moment? Are you fueling it in a way that furthers your goals when you buy food? Are you sleeping in such a way that you wake up the best version of yourself? Lots of things to consider. It can feel overwhelming, but it's a mindset, and it takes time to develop, like anything else. The sheer volume of techniques and forms and things that you learn in martial arts, it's overwhelming. That's why you don't get them all day one. They're slowly handed out to you. Being a martial artist comes over time. It's about creating habits. It's about being a better version of yourself. And that can happen anytime. There's no timetable, there's no rush. Whenever you're ready. questions. I'm feeling awake today. Feeling really awake. I think I slept really well. Not sure why, but I did. So that's cool. If you didn't check out yesterday's interview with Miss Susan Spann, do so. Feedback has been great. Wonderful conversation with her. Thursday, we've got the second part of the mindset of the martial artist. Thursday will be the intermediate martial artist. Last week we had the beginner. What else? New stuff at whistlekick.com. Those helmets are available. If you're an Amazon shopper, a bunch of stuff just hit Amazon. Lots of odds and ends, as well as helmets. So, yeah. Okay. Well, I think that'll do it for today. Your homework today, in just a moment. Don't forget, I want you to subscribe. If you're new to the show, subscribe, turn on notifications so you get the notice that we do this. Every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. Periodically, we batch them out later so you can listen to them in audio form in your podcast app. If you want to ask me a question, drop it below. I'll answer it tomorrow, or email me, jeremy@whistlekick.com. So there's the housekeeping now, your homework. If you could go back to your first day of martial arts training, what would you want you to know? Based on what you know now of who you are and what you're doing and what you've learned, what would you want to tell that person? Consider how old you are. Consider the challenges you had. What kind of support could you have offered a younger version of you? And once you've figured that out, who else might want to hear that? Thanks for coming by. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Peace.